Hey, what's going on, everyone? I'm going to walk through some Zapier skill building, and in this case, what I'm doing is I am triggering off a recording from Otter, and then what I'm checking is if all the folks that are on the invite are actually part of the same company through the domain, that they are going to mark the meeting as internal and therefore not record or move further on. And it's going to filter based on whether the meeting is internal or external. So you can see here what this is doing is the code is actually going to check if it's internal or external. I use Python here to basically pull in all the participant emails and then loop through them and then check if any of them are actually not part of the company domain. And if that's true, then it's an external meeting. And then over here, it's checking if it's an external meeting. If it's internal, it won't move forward. So if it's external, it will. And then what it's doing is it's actually calling out to a separate Sub-Zap. So couple of skills here: triggering, 2, using Python. Very strange to use code in a no-code platform, and then filtering as a skill set, and then using calling out to a Sub-Zap. All right, so now I flipped over to the Sub-Zap, and remember the original Zap is calling out to this Sub-Zap here, and what it's doing is it's pulling in all the relevant fields. So for example, it's pulling in from Otter all the different things, such as all the MEDDPIC fields that we've configured. If you have an Otter enterprise plan, for example, you can actually create what are called templates, and these templates you can create these different fields. So for example, paper process, economic buyer, decision process, these are part of MEDDPIC, and then you can create an AI prompt for each one of those, and I'm happy to share those down below. Then what you can do is run a Python script again, and the reason I run a Python script here is that I'll show you what this looks like in a second. Sometimes the title is a little bit wonky, so for example, when it's pulling from Otter, it actually pulled a space at the end, and so I'm simply just removing the space. And again, it's another skill. You're using Python to actually clean up the title so that when you use it down the road, here I'm looking in this case, I'm checking if there is a title over a meeting with that specific subject line, and then it's identifying if there's a tiebreaker here. I'm again using Python code to check if any of these meetings have the same title, and if it is, find the most recent one that is within the current time period, and then moving forward. And then I have a bunch of pathways. It's looking for the right opportunity. It's pulling in the right account, and then it's also querying and checking and then sending a message out to the reps. But you could also add in different steps to go ahead and fill out Salesforce. So when you're using Zapier and you're using any of these different tools, I highly recommend that you learn fundamental skills in your automation tools, your workflow automation tools, so that way you can get exactly the results you're looking for.